And you probably know her from Xena. She played Xena's daughter, Livia and Eve. Welcome, Adrienne Wilkinson.
Where's the Xena music?
And we are very excited to have our next guest. This is a guy who, as a very young child, he reintroduced Star Wars to an entire new generation of fans. He did it all by himself. It was fantastic. We are honored to have him at Planet Comicon this year. Please introduce Jake Lloyd. Thank you both for coming out today. Excellent. We are going to open this to questions to the audience pretty soon. What I'm going to ask the audience to do, if you have a question, please line up with this mic here. Please try to stay on this side of the aisle so that our cameras can still get our guests. So go ahead and start lining up now if you have a question for the guests. And in the meantime, I want to talk to you a little bit because you've both kind of been in Star Wars at distinctive times. Jake, you were
microphones
in the
are like right in the way of their
trilogy.
faces.
And that was a really interesting time for Star Wars because there hadn't been Star Wars for a long time. You reintroduced it to a new generation of fans. And you have helped carry that on further. You've done Clone Wars, you've done video games, so now you've got an entire next generation of fans. What's it been like over the years in Star Wars? How has it progressed from year to year to year?
I don't feel that I'm necessarily qualified to answer that question because I can only sort of really talk about my own part in it. I think that, clearly the Star Wars universe grows every year, and I'm just honored to be part of it and excited that I get to just be involved in these various little projects and introduce new characters and stuff like that. So I think it's exciting and interesting, and I only wish that I was lucky enough to have been in the films.
Were you a Star Wars fan before?
I was. It's something that I feel like, first of all, I feel like this is weird. So I'm gonna do this. But yeah, I was, of course, familiar with Star Wars, grew up on it, and it wasn't one of those things where I had always hoped to be part of it. But it was one of those things where when the chance came along, I was sort of shocked and in awe and jumped at the chance.
Great. Jake, what's it been like for you over the years, just seeing Star Wars progress throughout the years?
Well, I saw it before the re-release, and that's when I first saw it, and I loved Darth Vader from the get-go. And when they asked me to be in the prequels, I was honored and shocked, and very much excited to see what they do with the story beforehand and take us back before the events that they already told. And I was very, very impressed with that. And I thought the prequels were amazing. And when I actually watched the Clone Wars religiously for like the first 2 seasons, and then I stopped having cable. So.
Fair enough. So how old were you when you played Anakin? How old were you when you filmed that?
I was 8.
8, wow.
Yeah.
I can imagine that is many 8-year-olds' dream to be on the screen in Star Wars. Probably some of us out here when we were 8 years old, that we would love to be in Star Wars. Fantastic.
Probably some of you that are 40.
Hey, we do have some questions, so.
Yes, my question is for Jake. I know at the time Phantom came out, there was some talk that if Ender's Game was made then, you would play Ender. It's finally being made, was the kid from Hugo playing. But, how close did that come to fruition? You ever been under Wigan, or are there any other projects you missed out on that you would have loved to have played? And then also, what are your plans for the future? Are we going to see you acting again?
Yeah, I met Orson, and he was one of my biggest heroes when I came. Well, he's my favorite writer, aside from Joseph Heller, and he was awesome. He sat down, he asked me a whole bunch of questions about the book, quizzed me up and down to see whether or not I was right for the part. He'd spent years rewriting the story for Ender's Game into a screenplay, and I'm really happy to hear that it's getting made. It's a great book, and
Oh yeah,
I'm
Harrison
sure,
Ford is going to be in it, and I looked it up on IMDb this morning. Abigail Breslin
Yeah.
and Ben Kingsley. It's fun. They have done wonderful in the cast.
yeah.
But like I say, I know that you were, you know, if it had been made back then, you were topped up.
Yeah, and I think it's particularly good timing for a movie like that. I think it's Ender's Game is fantastic, a great story.
So what are your plans for the future? Will we see you again on the big screen?
Probably not. I've been directing and editing mostly. Right now I'm directing a music video. We're about to finish production in April, and I'm working on a documentary that is about Tibetan refugees that will probably be finished by the end of the summer. And yeah, I put out videos every now and again for Hedda.com, HeddaCooper.com for some of the concert footage that she does, and just get some practice with editing, which is what I really love doing. I have been editing since I was 15, and I love it. So.
Okay. Thank you.
Is that kind of a different world, just being in front of the camera versus behind the camera?
No, because the way Lucasfilm operates and all the productions that I had been on, Jingle All the Way, Unhook the Stars, everyone, when you're on set or working with other people, it's not exactly like you're shy when it comes to collaboration. And if you are, then your project doesn't work. And so being allowed to see different aspects of the filmmaking process throughout my childhood is very nice when you're looking at doing an editor's job, which is taking someone's either ill-fated attempts at capturing something or just amazing attempts at capturing life and turning it into a honed, complete picture. That helps when you've had so much experience talking to just about everyone who knows it better than you. So much like everyone at Lucasfilm and such, like you experience every time you go in, I'm sure. The advice and direction that they give is just phenomenal because they have tons of creative input as well as experience.
Because the best of the best are drawn to that working environment.
Yeah, it's
so.
Great. Another question from the audience.
This is more of a comment than a question.